Von Schill stands outside of his compound, watching several of his men gear up. He thinks about the information he just received. Of course it was Hollow Point Station. Where else would it be? They had been looking in safe houses, assuming that Ramos would hide whatever it was in a safe and secret place. That had only turned them up clues, and as a result, now they know he hid the really important stuff at Hollow Point, Union headquarters, where he could keep an eye on it. It seemed so obvious in retrospect. Von Schill knew it was a Union stronghold. They would have a tough time sieging it, but he also knew that they didn't know he was coming. If the Union at large knew about the presence of the artifact, it would be theirs already. It was likely that no one but a few on his team knew where to look. He turns and watches as Janna organizes the men and prepares them for the trip. She approaches. All the train tickets are ready. We should be in Ridley before dawn, and Hollow Point not long after that. Excellent. Any rumors about anyone else headed in that direction? Schill asks. Our scouts have been keeping an eye on the exits to the city, and no suspicious activity on the trains either. I think we have the jump on everyone, Janna replies. That's what I wanted to hear. What about the men? Schill asks, looking over the assembled soldiers. We don't have a ton of men left in the city. Seems we don't have time to send for more either, but I've prepped 2 squads, armed and ready. This will likely require more finesse than brute force. He pauses. But maybe we should reach out to an old friend anyway, just in case. Eva Havenhand rushes up to Gibson DeWalt in the DUA office with an obvious sense of urgency. What's going on, Eva? He asks. I just got a call from Ivan. We have a situation. We need to start locking down the station, Eva says quickly. How are we going to do that? We aren't exactly in charge of the Union, Gibson asks as he follows her across the room. I don't know, but we'll have to figure something out, Eva replies. He hurries to catch up with the woman. But more importantly, why? Eva peers back at him, but does not slow down. You know that thing Ivan was out looking for? Well, apparently it might be right under us. And apparently, we might not be the only ones who know that. Gibson's eyes go wide. Okay, well, we may not be MNSU officially, but folks know we work for Ivan, and they all respect Ivan. That will have to be enough, Eva says. Von Schill arrives at Industry Station with Janna and their retinue, and they take a quick look around. Nothing suspicious so far, boss. Train leaves in 15, Janna reports. Schill leads the group onto the train platform, and they attract strange looks as they all start boarding. Schill and Janna hold position on the platform, while all of the soldiers board, and just as the last few men get on the train, he hears a familiar voice. Leopold, I didn't know you were in the city. You weren't even going to come by and say hi? Schill turns around to find Sonia Crid flanked by 2 witchling stalkers. He frowns involuntarily. Miss Crid, long time no see. I was just leaving. Business, you understand. He shoots back. And does the Governor General know you're in town? I'm sure he'd love to speak with you. Again, Crid calls back. I don't much care what Marlowe wants, Schill says, dropping any pretenses of civility. Well, sadly, I can't let you leave. You see, times have changed, and mercenaries aren't welcomed in our civilized society anymore. So I'll have to take you in. Crid takes several steps forward, and Schill notices several other uniformed guild members approaching from the far building. Janna suddenly steps in front of Von Schill. You're not taking anyone anywhere. She holds up her hands. If you come quietly, I'm sure the guild will be lenient, considering we have so much history with you. Janna spins her hand as she prepares to cast a spell to give them cover to board the train. She feels the magical energy start to build within her, but just as she's about to release it, one of the stalkers takes a step forward, and she feels it all dissipate. Crid steps closer, drawing her sword, as Janna looks around confused, a horrible feeling of powerlessness coming over her. Nice try, Sonia quips. I guess we can add unsanctioned use of magic to the rap sheets then. She goes to swing her sword, but Schill parries the blow with his metal arm. Crid, I'll give you one more chance to back off and mind your own business, he says as he draws his gun. How generous of you. I don't know if you've noticed, but even with your men on the train, you're outnumbered, she says as more guards close in. Perhaps you should start begging. She lifts her sword and goes to deliver another blow, but just then, explosions start going off all over the platform. The guild members jump for cover as grenades rain down on the platform, destroying benches and blowing out windows. Several of the guards don't make it to safety. Janna and Schill slip onto the train and watch as on the platform, Lazarus stomps his way towards the mayhem. Guild detected. A large man in a cloak drives a carriage away from Malifaux City. It's dark, and the man's large hands are covered in deep cuts that have been stitched back together. As the carriage advances further from the city, a tuft of red hair pops out of the window of the vehicle and looks back towards the city walls. The man then turns to the driver. I think we're far enough away now. You can take off that stupid cloak. Jib holds the reins of the horse and does not respond to the doctor. McMorning then sits back down into the carriage with a smile. Such a nice day to go for a drive, isn't it, Sebastian?
I was looking forward to going on the train.
Tisk, tisk. You know Jib is afraid of trains. And besides, what would the people think? I didn't have time to do my hair before we left. Can you imagine the looks I'd get walking through downtown? Sebastian considers it for a minute and then looks down at both of their bloody hands.
I guess you're right.
They ride in silence for a while, McMorning muttering to himself and Sebastian looking at him blankly. Eventually, he speaks up.
So what are we going to do when we get there?
McMorning looked startled, like he forgot Sebastian was right in front of him. Get there. Don't worry about that.
So you have a plan?
A plan? Von Schill steps off the train at Hollow Point Station and immediately knows that something is wrong. There are people everywhere, standing in a crowd and looking confused. Several guards are standing at the door to the station, and a woman with a long whip is standing behind them, looking at the gathered people. It looks like the place has been evacuated. The station's locked down, Jana says. Well, that could only mean one thing. Someone else came to the same conclusion we came to, Schill growls. Not too surprising. This little treasure hunt has been the talk of the city for weeks. I'm surprised no one else got here sooner, Jana admits. Well, this is going to make it difficult. Schill looks around at the large building and assesses the situation. I'll head around back to see if I can find another way in. You mingle with the crowd and see if we can figure out what's going on. Jana nods and starts walking towards the crowd. Schill takes 2 men and quickly makes his way around the building. It's covered in piping and machinery, and he considers trying to climb up to get in another way, but doesn't see any windows up high. When they get to the other side of the building, he notices a series of large exhaust vents and an abandoned carriage not far away. I wonder who brought that here, he says as he approaches. Upon examination, he sees that one of the exhaust vents has been dented in, as if it was hit by a large object. There's an opening wide enough for even Schill himself to squeeze inside.